Hey everybody, welcome into SJGames Live. It's just me today, well me and Brandon. So I'm Jimmy, Brandon's running things behind the scenes. Welcome on in. Today we are talking about a bunch of stuff that is up for pre-order because it is about ready to ship out of the warehouse at the end of the month here. So these are all things that are new and reprints, and in one case a reprint of a classic game that Steve found and is getting back in print. But I want to see who all is here with us today. Welcome on in, folks. Um, Good to see you all here. Why is my oh, because it's not playing. That's why. That'll help. It was paused. Uh, all right. So yeah, welcome back in. I hope you are staying cooler because it's getting pretty warm here. But yeah, it's summer. A lot of you have graduated. Some of you are looking for games, and we've got new stuff coming out. The first of which is new Munchkin, which is always fun for people.
Switch to our.
Oh, there we go. Brandon's got a picture. The Munchkin, the floor is larva. So this is a new set, 56 new cards, and it is bringing in the bug race from Munchkin, from Star Munchkin, to the regular game, and a lot of bug-themed things. So hopefully the only bugs you have to encounter this summer are in this and not out at all your events. But if you like bugs, this is a set for you. If you don't like bugs, this might not be the set for you. But it's a small expansion, not a tiny one. There's like 56 cards in there. It's got some hirelings in here, but it's got some rules for hirelings. Now let's get these open. These are all a whole bunch of bug-themed cards. Oh, don't cut myself with a studio knife.
I'll do that.
Short stream today. Right to the ER.
We'll
Last thing we need to do. All right, so there are some treasures and doors. Yeah, this is a new all bug themed set to add into whatever Munchkin set you like. Now it does have the fantasy backs, so it'll go well with your core Munchkin stuff.
Like the new Munchkin big box.
Like the new Munchkin big box, which we are doing a lot of work to get that ready to go. I know Daryl and Susan and Steve and Meredith and everybody are doing all sorts of meetings for that. Get that out of the way so I don't poke myself. But so yeah, we've got a whole bunch of bug-themed sets in the floor is lava. If flying, stinging, and biting really bug you, this is a set you're sure to larva. Of course, of course. All right, so yeah, again, it does bring in the bug race from Star Munchkin. So let's see if I can. That should be in the door cards here. Here we go. Bug race for Munchkin. Go right up there. A little closer. There we go. So bug. Scavenger. Whenever a race or class card is discarded, you may discard any 2 cards and grab the discard. So you can swap out to other races or classes as a bug. We've got some classic wandering monsters and cheats. Who did the art in this set? This is I'm gonna hang out pronunciation. Baz Goverde did the art for this set.
Nice.
It's good style. So let's see. We've got some monsters here. We've got the wannabe, the beetle, bug DJ. You got the social butterfly. Of course, you gotta have a dragonfly.
Ooh. That thing's huge.
It is huge. It is a level 19, so it's almost the biggest one in the set, or might be the biggest one in the set. Cursed leeches.
Ew.
Got the bed bug.
Cute.
Some more bug class cards or bug race cards. Super Munchkin breed. The get the love bug.
Uh-huh.
You got the deviant.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Like you got the Antern. There's some more in here. We're not going to go
That's a
through.
bonus. It's a hireling.
It is, yeah. So there are, like I said, there are hireling rules. So the Antern can carry any one item that's not as legal for a bug to use. Its bonuses and abilities count towards you, so it can carry one thing for you. There's some cheat cards, wandering monsters, some monster bonuses in here. I want to see what treasures we got. So that was some of the doors. And let's see what else we got. Loaded die. We've got visit a flea circus. Oh, of course. Mosquitoes.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, those are good. +3 bonus and +1 runaway.
Yeah. Of course, you gotta have a fly swatter.
Works.
These are all things to use against the bugs, in most cases. Got some custom art for the wishing rings. You could surf the web. You have some grasshoppers. Of course. The thorax.
Oh no. +4 bonus.
That's a good one.
That's nice.
A government bug.
Prevents a player from using one-shots. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's some nasty stuff in here.
They get their one-shots back, though. That's cool.
It's a temporary thing. You've got a fumigation tent that kills all monsters into combat.
Wow. You don't get the levels, though. And you still have to run away?
Yep.
Interesting.
You can.
Those are, yeah, there's some interesting cards.
Some interesting new mechanics in here. It looks like Devin did the development work on this one.
Nice. Cool stuff, Devin.
Yep. Yeah. So that is a preview of some of the cards in Munchkin. The floor is larva. So again, all bug themed. You know, on the treasure side, stuff to fight the bugs. On the other side, a whole bunch of bugs and bug related things and monsters. And of course, all of the puns and everything you come to expect from Munchkin set. We didn't groan when we were looking through these cards occasionally. It wouldn't really be Munchkin now, would it?
We definitely grown.
Yeah, quick little bug themed set to add to your Munchkin stuff. Add some creepy crawlies in there. Make the dungeons grosser.
I bet it would go well with like Munchkin Cthulhu also.
Oh yeah, yeah. Be a fun set to mix it with Cthulhu. I'd mix it with or you could go like a vermin set. You could mix this and Munchkin Rats, which came out earlier in the year. Loose, I guess they're not that way. I'll figure that out later. How about that?
What do we got next?
So let's see. After floor is larva. So I'm going to do this one because I really like this one. This is a reprint of Nightmare Chess, which is a chess variant game. There's a couple ways to play it, but it is essentially adds a whole deck of cards. Now, this is something you add to a chess set. So you need to have a chess set of your own already. And this is just add on. So it adds all these cards, and you can either deck build it by points or just use one big deck. There's a couple of different ways to play it. But the general way that it goes is in addition to making one chess move per turn, you can also play up to one card per turn. And the cards do all sorts of things to throw the whole game into chaos. I really love the art in this one, which I'm going to have to look at the rule sheet. I forget who did all the art for it. So it's based on the original French game. Card art by Rogerio Villela.
Nice.
So it's the original the original artist. We just adapted it, and this is so this we had originally Nightmare Chess and Nightmare Chess 2, which had a whole lot of extra cards. This is both into a single edition of the game now, so you can get everything all at once, and it really adds a new dimension to the whole game. Some of the things let your pieces either temporarily or permanently move like other pieces, or move in new unique ways. It can add barriers to the chessboard. It can rotate the board. Can change your victory goals. All sorts of things like that. Like an example, faith to move mountains. On this move, one of your bishops can move through other pieces. It must end its move in a vacant square. Freeze. No cards may be played until a king has been placed in check, with some exceptions. Funeral pyre. All pieces that have been captured by both players are now considered dead. They cannot be returned to the chessboard through the play of a card. Let me throw some out here because the art style in these is all really just a interesting aesthetic. Court politics. Pawns no longer promote. A pawn which reaches the last rank just stands there. Should this continuing effect be removed, all such pawns must promote immediately, with the player who removed the effect being the first player to promote. So you can stack it up and just have a mass explosion. One of my favorites to see happen, I'm going to see if I can find it real quick, is Fireball, where you move a piece, and at the end of its movement, it explodes and takes itself out and everything in any square adjacent to it.
So all surrounding 8 squares?
All 9 squares basically are removed from the board.
Gotcha. It's pretty nasty.
This is a pretty nasty one too. Bloodlust. Your opponent must capture a piece during their next turn, or make no move at all. So just a whole lot of just whole thing ways to change up the game. So you can never really predict. I find it is something that can equalize the playing field a lot. If you have someone who's very experienced and someone who's not as experienced, maybe as a casual player, this can even out because people who are very experienced and know the openings and strategies and those sorts of things cannot plan ahead for a fireball necessarily. That's not in the move sets that they are expecting to work with. And there are how many cards in this set? There are a lot of cards, 160 cards in here. So 160 different ways that the game can get changed up each turn. And the way I generally like to play is the variant where you just play with a static deck in the middle, and everyone has a hand, and you just draw off of it. But all the cards do have point values on them, so you could also do each person builds their own deck to draw from with so many points. You can there are several variants in the rules on how to set up and run the different games, either with personal sets, a shared deck, multiple sets. There's some blank cards in here if you want to write your own. There's an extra discards variant. There's a handicap variant. Just basically a whole lot of stuff that just kind of changes up the game that a game that most people are familiar with, at least in passing, to a game that just about anything can happen in. And it just makes for a much more chaotic experience and run through that game that you know and love, probably. And again, the art on all of these, I'm really a big fan of a lot of these. One of the cards that I know comes up a lot of the times that I've seen catch people a lot. Don't remember the name.
King of the Mountain.
It's not that one, but there's one that I'm not finding immediately. But the effect is the next piece named by somebody is discarded. So the next person to say a piece name, like if I said the word knight, then one of my knights would get discarded. Just come off the battlefield.
It's whoever says it.
Whoever says the next one,
Oh,
just loses one of those.
even when they're reading a card or something.
Yep. It is a persistent card. That's the next person who mentions a piece name.
Right.
Loses one of those pieces. So again, really fun. I like kind of chaotic variant games anyway, but this is a really good one for me at least that lets you just do all sorts of crazy things with chess. So if you have this, like most people have a chessboard lying around somewhere. It might not be dusted off very often, but if you bring this along, you'll be like, oh yeah, we can bust that out, and I've got something different to do with that. Or you can get a small travel chess set, throw it in here, something like that. But yeah, it is really fun. I love looking at these cards, and it's a good time. So we've had this. We occasionally reprint. This is the latest reprint of this game. Funny story about it. So a while ago, we had I think recently reprinted it, and so we were showing it off at Gen Con, and at the time, I was up front of the booth at one of the front tables where we had this set up in a gold glass chessboard, so we're showing it off to people as they came by. And one guy walks up to the booth and starts looking through the cards and is looking at it. So I give him the 30-second pitch about what it's about, and he nods and keeps looking through the cards and asks something, and I answer his question. So I'm telling him more and more about the game, and he lets me go on for a couple minutes about it, and then puts us a hand to shake my hand, says, "Hi, I'm Bruno." I was like, "Oh, hi, Bruno, nice to meet you." And he goes, and he points to the box. No, I'm Bruno. He's Bruno Faduti, one of the designers of the French version of the game, the original French version of the game, who was there to meet with some of our staff, but he wanted to look at the game and stuff first. So he let me tell him about his own game for like a couple minutes before he let me in on the fact that he was the guy who designed the game I was telling him about.
Did he like your pitch?
Apparently. But yeah, so this is, again, all these games are shipping at the end of June, so in about a week or two, they'll be heading out of the warehouse, but you can pre-order them now. We'll throw out, I think Brandon's been throwing some links over there on the side.
Yep.
But yeah, and then, so the Nightmare Chess, this is combination 1 and 2, is $34.95. Flora's Larva was $11.95. But yeah, so this is basically all the stuff that ever came out for it. 158 cards, plus a couple blank cards, 160 cards, beautifully painted, fun game, nice game of chaos chess. One of my favorite variants. That and I do like Proteus as well as a chess variant.
Proteus, yes.
Which comes with a very small board, but it's not regulation size because Proteus has fewer pieces than a normal chess game. So you can't quite use that for this. But it's another quick little variant game of it that I like. But Nightmare Chess I've liked for a long time. The next one we have up here is Express, and this is also a reprint from long ago. Steve, if you don't know, Steve is a big train fan. He loves them. We did a whole thing with a local restored train society group that has one that kind of does circuits in the area, and they were having an event, and so we actually sent some of our staff. I think we sent Randy and Irene and Steve out with prototype versions of or preprint versions of Express to go run train games on the train for that. But this is one that's been out for a while. It's got a lot of fans from way back. It's kind of a not quite set collection, but a little bit that. It's almost kind of a mix between that and like a gin or gin rummy kind of game.
It's a card game?
It's a card game, yeah. We'll open it up here. But it is a card game, and you're about building the trains and scoring the different sets of them. And they can score in a couple different ways. And there are some mechanics in there for when you stop and when you try to score that are a little bit like a gin or gin rummy. But then there's also some special cards that will let you derail other people's trains. shorten their things, mess up their scoring, those sorts of things. But it's been hard to find for a long time and out of print for a long time. So Steve, I think he was at one of the conventions, or even might have been one of the train conventions that he went to. They were talking about how they like to do tournaments for this, but it's getting really hard to do because they can't find sets anymore, and the sets they have are wearing out. So Steve got with the folks who originally made this, which I believe is Darwin's Toys, or at least the last people who made it. And oh no, it's originally because the game designer was Darwin P. Bromley. So hunted him down, got in contact, and got the game back in print here. So there's the rule book looks big, but it's because it's got a lot of examples of like, here's a legal play, here's not legal trains, here's all this stuff. But it's not that long. It's a quick little thing. It's got a lot of lists of the cards and some special cases and scoring and some tournament rules in there. But the layouts kind of look like this when you actually get each player gets their play going. You've got a nice little reference card here that's got the short version of the rules on the front and some highlights of the special cards on the back. The do not eat packet. And then a lot of the different types of cards and all the different types of train cars score in different ways. So they'll be, but they match the color and style on all of them. So most of your train cars are going to be built out of these. Most of your trains are going to be built out of the same kind of car, except for I believe it's the passenger cars. All of these brown ones have different types: sleepers, mail baggage, domes, observations. So they can they go and score in a different manner than some of the others, and sometimes the engine will matter. But yeah, so basically a lot of different sets, and each of the sets will score in a slightly different way. There's wild cards, and there's a lot of these specials that will change up how your stuff plays, and some side cards like the cranes that will do some special effects when you are trying to put these together or trying to do some scoring. Now the main deck of these is this blue deck. That's the back. We do, because it is there is that several groups that like to do tournaments of these things. It's really handy to have a second deck for pre-shuffling and rolling out of those. So we do have an extra deck that's available for this that is a red-backed deck to go add on to the game itself, so that you can have that second deck ready to go if you're trying to shuffle up a lot of stuff together.
Here's our mock-up art
of the red deck. Yeah, it's basically the blue deck just with a red border on it instead. The rest of the cards are all the same. Yeah, Express is 132 cards with the reference cards. It's got a tray here that holds everything in place. And you can do whatever you want with this packet except eat it.
You could eat it.
I would not recommend it. I actually like to take all of these. I put them in a large gallon Ziploc bag because they're basically desiccants. So they keep things they dry things out or keep moisture from doing stuff.
Right.
So I've got a big gallon Ziploc of all of my electronics and games and anything else that comes with those. I throw them in there, and then if I ever have a problem where a watch or a phone or something gets wet, after I shake the water off it, I throw it in that bag instead of something like rice, so that it can try to help save the thing.
Right.
But that's what I use all these things for. But yeah, so it's 132 cards, the reference card, the card tray, the rule sheet. Plays 2 to 6 players, so you can get a decent side around the table going with this. And it's one of those games like everyone tries to build out their sets. You get to the point where you're done, you score, and then you can wrap it up and do it again, play another one. And that's kind of like it's designed to go in rounds, like, okay, so-and-so won this round with this many points. And you play to first person to 100 points or something like that. Kind of, like a lot of traditional card games will play. So yeah, if you like train games, you like that kind of set building strategies kind of stuff, this is definitely one for you. And it is also going to be out at the end of the month here. We've got it in stock now. Excuse me. Oh, I've got it in pre-order now. They've got copies in the warehouse because that's where I stole this from. And they will be shipping it out at the end of the month with the rest of these. So that is Express. I know a lot of people are going to be happy to see that available again. We didn't change it. I think they may have done some rulebook edits or things, like reorganizing the rulebook, but the game itself is still the game, the same game as it was before. They may have fixed an errata that cropped up over the years, but they did not redesign the game. This is still, you're familiar with it from before, it's still Express. Oh, gotta put the rule sheet back in there. Hi, Jedi Kyle, welcome in. Turgle, the audio and video aren't synced. That's unusual. We
Try reloading your browser, maybe.
yeah, I'll see if I can detect that here. Do like that. It's like a little delay. Sometimes Twitch can get a delay on things. Yeah, we do have a little delay. We'll have to look into that issue. It's pretty minor, so we'll correct it in post for the video. And if it doesn't sync back up here, we'll look into see what's going on with it. Twitch being Twitch, yeah, kind of. It's popular. It's good to get out there, but all services have their quirks, and sometimes it's Twitch, sometimes it's OBS, sometimes it's something in between. But by and large, it's something you just have to deal with when you're doing streaming stuff. But we're glad to have you here anyway. So the last one we're talking about today is Zombie Dice Horde Edition. So Zombie Dice have been running for a long time. It is a game where you are the zombies, you are trying to eat brains and not get shotgunned. We've made a couple expansions and a couple different versions over the years. So what Horde Edition does is it basically collects all the stuff we put out for Zombie Dice as far as gameplay goes into one thing. So in this edition, instead of a cup, we've got a bag. That's Zombie Dice in big red on it. We've got the score pad, so you can track all your scoring for the round. We've got double feature, which is the Hero and Heroine and Santa expansions that you can add in. We've got some brain tokens, so you can count tokens or shotguns. And we've got the school bus, which was Zombie Dice 3 expansion that adds the school bus into the things that you can run across. And of course, the Zombie Dice themselves. If you've not played Zombie Dice before, you're zombies, you're trying to eat brains and not get shotgunned. Every turn, you're going to pull 3 dice at random out of the bag. You're going to roll them. You set aside any brains and any shotguns you roll, and then you have a choice. You can stop and score the brains that you got, and or you can try to get more brains. If you try to get more brains, you're always going to be chasing the people in front of you or the food in front of you. So if you have any that came up with the feet, the little runners, then you are going to have to re-roll those as part of your 3. You take enough new dice out of the bag to make 3, and you roll again. You keep doing that until you decide to stop and score your brains, or you get 3 shotguns, in which case you are taken out for that round. You bust, you do not have to score anything. Your score is 0 for that round, and you pass all the dice to the next player. The Hunk and Heroine, the double feature adds in the Hunk and Heroine, and Zombies Meet Santa. The Hunk and Heroine have slightly different stats on their dice, and if one of them is already out and captured as a brain, and the other one comes out and rolls a shotgun, they can rescue the first one and pull them back into the cup. For Santa, he's got the normal, brain shotgun feat, but if you've been a good zombie, he might give you a present, like the helmet, which lets you take 1 extra shotgun blast, the energy drink, which makes you a fast zombie, or double brains. Clear off those. And if you play with those 2 together, the hero and heroine and Santa can save each other from the zombie pool if they're getting eaten. And lastly, the school bus is the third one. And that one is on your turn. Instead of rolling normally, you can choose to, let me make sure I get it right. So you can choose to run it. So you always roll 3 dice, the first 3 dice. But after that, you can say you're trying to catch the bus and take the school bus instead of drawing one of the dice from the bag. So one of your 3 would be the school bus die. And you roll it as part of your roll. And sometimes you get 2 brains or a mix of brains. Oh, I gotta roll it back here. Sometimes you get like a mix of brains and shotguns, or you'll get the 1 brain, 1 shotgun, just a brain. But you've also got the stop sign, which means the bus stops and your turn is over. If you've got 3 shotguns or more, you score nothing. Otherwise, you score the brain, so it's a forced stop to your turn. You've got the yield sign, which, if it comes up, then the survivors quit shooting and run. All the shotguns that's on that roll become footprints. And then you got the dead end sign, which all the runners are trapped. All the footprints become brains for that roll. And then lastly, there is the one you really don't want to see, which is the tire treads you run over. You fell into the bus and dropped a brain. You lose 1 brain, unless you don't have any yet. And then you may either lose a brain counter or drop the brain die of your choice back into the bag. You can end your turn now or keep going with a 6-sided dice, but you can't roll a school bus anymore in that turn because you fell off and got run over by the bus. So that is basically all of the stuff, all of the game things we've made for Zombie Dice rolled into one big package. So if you've thought about getting it or want to get all of it, this is the package to do it. It's included counters, included the score sheet, included all 3 expansions. So you've got the main one, the big summer action movie, Santa Claus Meets the Zombies, and the school bus, all in one box. And this box again is shipping out at the end of the month and is 16 dice, 1 12-sided dice, 10 brain counters, 4 shotgun counters, the score pad, the dice bag, the rule sheet for $29.95. And this plays 2 or more players. Since you pass the dice around, you can play with as many as you want to. So this is a good one if everyone's hanging out, having fun, and just want a game to play while you're chilling out with people, or a picnic or something like that. This is one you can easily pass around because everyone's just rolling and scoring the whole way around the table. So yeah, that is Zombie Dice Horde Edition. It's kind of like your Ultimate Edition, all-encompassing version of Zombie Dice. Still like the big D12 in there. That's
it's chonky.
It's big and chonky. Like, it's a good fun edition. And you know, 12s don't get used enough. Actually, war shirts got a big D12 on it today. But 12s don't get used enough. So this is a nice big chonky. It's not the Munchkin break your table die, but the nice chunky die. Feels good to roll and get you more brains.
Always a plus.
Always a plus. So those are our 4 new things that are going to be shipping out in just a week and a half or so here. Whenever, with 2 weeks. Time has no meaning. Whenever the end of the month is. Soon. So you can pre-order all of these now on Warehouse 23, or you can look for them soon at your local stores. Yeah, these are really good times. My favorites of these are probably Zombie Dice Horde Edition, because it's everything for Zombie Dice, and that's just a good backpack game. And then I really dig the Chaos, the chess variants that we've got going on. Let's see, what else do we have coming up here? We finish off with our big beginning of summer campaigns, which if you missed them, was the Munchkin Big Box, which we've done a lot of streams on. You can go check that out, but that campaign was wildly successful. Thank you all so much. We're working on getting all the details worked out for that and stuff. So updates are still coming out as they get new components finished and new finalized versions of stuff. They're posting updates and pictures on the Backer Kit project. So if you're part of it, make sure you go check for those updates, because new stuff is coming out about progress on those things. I think they're done with all the polls on them. They're going to be opening up probably soon, I think, the backer kit store, the pre-launch store, so you can find where you can finalize and add on things, new add-ons to your pledges. That I don't think it's available yet, but it should be coming soon because they said it was going to be several weeks after, so we should be approaching that soon. We also had the Carnage 2 Kickstarter project, which is for more STL files for the Car Wars universe or other auto combat games. If you like terrain, vehicles, there were some really cool terrain bits in there that worked with like LEDs and stuff if you wanted to. That was
still
a fun
a late pledge on
late pledges are still available for that, and if you want the original one, you can just go get that on Warehouse 23 because the original set of STLs for the Carnage 1 project are available there. And if you want to even test them out, there's a free one that's just like one car and a couple bits. If you want to test out the car and stuff on your printers to see how they work. Which is a fun little like bonus bit you can get to just try stuff out if you're just got a 3D printer and want to see if it works, or if you're not sure if it works with your style of printer. It's a good way to do a test print and that sort of stuff. What do we have coming up next? Let's see what we might be talking about next week. What's coming up soon? We are in, what's today, the 13th?
Yep. It was almost Friday the 13th.
Almost Friday.
Almost.
It's Thursday the 13th. So.
Thursday the 13th. Completely different movie.
So we got some more reprints coming up in July. We've got we've got Munchkin Pony XS coming soon. Another new smaller Munchkin set. Speaking of Star Munchkin, where the Flora's larva came, the bug race from Flora's larva that came from Star Munchkin, which it looks like the Star Munchkin 2 reprint is happening in July, so we should be seeing that soon. So if you're looking to backfill Star Munchkin, keep an eye out for that. Cats. And then we're doing a lot of prep. I know this is a product stuff here, but I know we're starting to do prep. I'm seeing over in other rooms of the office over here where we're starting to set up our Gen Con booth. So if you are going to be coming to Gen Con, we're going to be in roughly the same place as we usually are. You're going to look for us down around, I think it's 1400, 1200, 1400. Right down there near the doors along that far side. If you've never been there before, look us up. But if you're used to finding us at Gen Con, we should still be in the same place. I'll be there. Randy will be there. A lot of other folks are going to be there hanging out. But so we're already building our booth for that and prepping it and designing that so we can get it packed up and sent off soon. So this is just, we had to start doing that here at the beginning of summer so that it's all ready to go and can get there at the end of the summer for us to do all of the stuff we like to do out there, showing off stuff. I know we're going to be showing off a lot of Car Wars, the Orange Purple set, the new 2-player set. We're planning to have a lot of games of that. I know a lot of them are already filled up. So if you want to play in some of those full game stuff, make sure you go sign up for those Gen Con events. Look us up on Gen Con events page because those are available. I've started to go through the list myself, and a lot of stuff's already sold out. So for not just us, but for everybody. So go through, look up those events, grab the tickets. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Yeah, look for the stuff you want to do. Come play some more Car Wars with us. Come see the new Purple Orange expansion set. Well, not expansion, new 2-player set. I don't think we're going to have any of the new expansions by Gen Con, the new smaller repackaged 1-player expansion kits, but they'll be close. So we may be able to show them off at Gen Con, even if we don't have them available there. But come play some Munchkin, come play some Car Wars with us. If you're going, go ahead and get on those event pages and look for us at our normal location there. What else do we have today, Brandon?
I think that's about it.
Is that what we've got on the list for today? A little bit of a short one. And we'll poke at the audio stuff to see if we can figure out what was causing that. It may just be Twitch. We'll check connections and stuff on this side, and we'll fix it before it goes up on YouTube tomorrow. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for today. We didn't have a ton for today. But we're going to go ahead and head on out, and we will see you guys next week on SJGames Live. I want to thank you for coming by and joining us, and we will see you next time. Take care, folks.